life, you know? Let's just talk books. Hi everybody, I'm Oliver, this is Chaotic Bibliophile, and today I bring you a very spur of the moment video. Basically, I haven't settled on what I call my sitting down book. These are books that I usually don't carry around because they're very heavy and kind of cumbersome, and books that I cannot easily read on my back while I'm in bed, so I have to carve a little bit of time to read. I sit on a sofa, or I go to the park or to a cafe to read them sitting down, usually because they are hardcovers or like graphic novels that are like heavy or big format, that sort of thing. Basically, I'm kind of in a pickle because I started this book, No Modernism Without Lesbians by Souhami, and I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name, sorry. But I was really keen on this because this was supposed to be pop history and pop literary criticism, but it's been utterly disappointing for reasons that I will cover in my June wrap-up. I will definitely not carry this over to July. I will either finish it in June or DNF it. I haven't made a choice yet. I think I will maybe start after, like, I'm reading a really slim book. After I finish that one, I might revisit this. But this is definitely like a carry around book, and a bed book is fine. But because my itch for nonfiction that is kind of literature related hasn't been scratched, I decided that my sitting down book could do that. I have 4 books here, 3 of which I have already started, and I'm kind of at a loss to what to pick, because like I was enjoying all of them, but I stopped at different points for different reasons, and I'm kind of like, well, some of them I would restart, some of them I wouldn't. I don't know. So I thought I would do like try a chapter book tag. But because the chapters are so different, I think I'll do it with time. Like read 10 minutes of X and then decide. I don't know why I thought this could be content. So let's get into the options, shall we? The first one is my autobiography of Carson McCullers by Jenn Shapland, and this is a memoir. I think Jenn Shapland either like studied or became friends with Carson McCullers. I also want to read Before We Were Trans, A New History of Gender. And this I started, but I definitely started like at the wrong time because I was very, very tired. And I did, the introduction I clearly was here for because I did like highlight and engage with. But then the second, like chapter 1, I think I didn't like pay enough attention to. So I might start again. I will think about it. But yeah, it is what it says on the tin. And it is really interesting. And it does come highly recommended by a dear friend. Again, all of these are high on the list, so I'm not keen to say like, oh, this I'm looking forward to all of these. It's kind of the point. Then Bad Gays, A Homosexual History. This is of course the book that spawned from Bad Gays, the podcast, one of my favorites, and it's a look into specific homosexual figures throughout history, but also tying it all together to the concept of homosexuality. Similarly, one that I've sort of dipped in and out of is How to Be Gay by David M. Halperin, and this is based on a course that Halperin did in, I don't remember what university, but basically when he first publicized the course, it was deemed as very controversial because, yeah, it was called How to Be Gay. So people were like, oh, indoctrinating our children. But what he means is homosexuality, and specifically male homosexuality in this case, as a cultural practice, as a subculture. And like even he, in the introduction, he even looks at sort of people who reject this notion of like one gay culture. It is a longer one. It's not like academic, like it's still super readable, but you know, slightly more. So what I will do, I think, is read 15 minutes of each and then decide on one book that I'm going to stick to. Or maybe I'm going to do like a ranking, like, okay, I'm going to read this first, then this, then this, and then if my mood doesn't change, I might stick to that TBR. So who knows? Okay, let's go. So this is the setup. It has my son's gay. I'm in a cushion and has good reading lighting and soda. Let's go. This will also, of course, be my thumbnail. Okay, I'm back and
I was really setting, I was waiting.
You were waiting. I'm gonna leave it in, yeah.
I said I didn't want to be in it, but I did.
Do you wanna?
No, I think it's funnier if I just enjoy
Yeah, it just avoids. That's fine. That's fun as well. Basically, Ash is here, and we debated whether they were gonna appear on camera or not, but they won't.
Can I
But
have a blanket because my back's pretty sticky.
yes. Why? Anyways, you're just trying to find things to say.
No, I actually need a blanket. Where is it?
Okay, but what blanket? What kind of blanket?
Just like anything.
Anyways, Ash has appeared on camera in a little live tag that we did a few months ago, more than a few months ago now. You can check that down below and in the eye. And so now I'm gonna tell you the order. I liked all 4 books, which is nice. I'm not gonna sort of get rid of any of them, but I have come up with an order, and hopefully I will get through these all soon. I'm not gonna say June because it's the 22nd already, so I need to be somewhat realistic. But anyways, what I'm going to continue reading right away is my autobiography of Carson McCullers by Jenn Shapland. This is interesting. Did you just...
I'm sorry, that was an accident. That was an accident. I'm sorry.
It's okay, I'm gonna leave it in. The whole thing with this video is that it was impromptu. I didn't plan to record it, and that is like very low edit, so a lot of things. Yeah, exactly.
Pulling back the curtain.
Exactly that. Anyways, I described this completely wrong because it's not that Jenn Shapland knew Carson McCullers. It's that she found letters and records from one of Carson McCullers' lovers, and so she becomes like obsessed with this relationship and wants to sort of uncover it more, and through that she's thinking of sort of lesbian identity and sapphic relationships in general, because apparently like the book starts with a conversation between McCullers and a friend where Carson was asked if she was lesbian, and her answer was like, no, yeah, maybe, I don't know, what is a lesbian anyway, kind of vibe. So it's just like really interesting. It's funny because it reminded me of this book called Lesbian Love Story, a queer history of sapphic romance, which came out like really recently, I think this same month. And what?
I'm leaving because I keep burping, and if I move the minute, it's gonna hurt. I don't want hiccups. I'll see you in 5 minutes.
Okay. I was very confused by this book because the subtitle is A Queer History of Sapphic Romance. When I opened it, it had a strong first person narrative, and I was like, well, what is this? But the US version is actually much clearer in what it is. It is a memoir. It is a memoir by Amelia Possanza about coming to terms with her identity. But one of the theses of the memoir is that you cannot understand your own lesbian identity without talking about history and like the history of sapphic love. So that is why it's called Lesbian Love Story. So I am going to get to this sooner, but again, this is one of the books that I can travel around with. It is approved, so it's just like easy to transport and read, and like it won't crush me to death if I'm bringing it in bed. So it is for later, but it did remind me of that. It's also super readable. The writing is amazing, so I'm definitely going to devour this. I can already feel it. And after I'm done with that, if I need more sitting down books, I'm going to go with Before We Were Trans, A New History of Gender. I didn't need to restart this because I remembered fairly well. Like I saw a few of my comments and some of my highlighted sections, and it was like, oh yeah, I remember this. So I'm moving forward. What I got to in this occasion was a chapter on fashion and gender, and how at a certain point those two were seen as almost intrinsically or like essentially linked, and I thought that was fascinating. I was just reminded of how great Kit Henyam is, or Henyam, Kit Henyam is as a writer wizard. No, I say Hyman.
Oh.
Hyam. Oh my god, you just come here to wreck chaos. Oh my god.
It's not real, fun fact.
Yeah, that is true. It's not real. Anyways, this was really good. And also, I had read so much more than I remembered. And like, I'm so further along than I thought. It's actually not very long because it has a lot of notes. So it is effectively like not even 250 pages, and I'm already 70 pages in. So this also will be a quick read. These two I definitely want to finish by the end of June, and I think if I leave myself time to read, which I hope I can do, then this will be done. And then, what do you need?
I love to plug something in. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to be this disruptive.
It's okay. There you go.
Thank you. I didn't want to be in this one, and now I've ended up in like every single part. I hate this.
No, you don't.
No, you're right, I think.
After that, I think I'm going to jump to How to Be Gay by David Halperin. According to Ash, it's Halperin. Like, I believe them. I have been saying Halperin. Halperin.
Yeah,
Yes.
Halperin, I think.
Yeah.
Blame me if it's wrong.
Yeah, I've been pronouncing it wrong for like ever since I got this. I think at Judd Books, because they had it on sale. Yeah, I got it almost a year ago. Yeah. And anyways, it's just because it's fascinating. I do think the introduction of like the context of the course section has gone over long, but I am fascinated by sort of his cultural comments and what he has to say on gay culture. So yeah, I really, really want to check this one out. After that, I'm gonna jump right into Bad Gays, A Homosexual History. The only exception is if for whatever reason I get to go to an event beforehand, and I definitely want to have read the full book by then, because they're going to start doing events for the paperback release. So I might prioritize this if that's the case. Otherwise, I think it will be very interesting to read it after How to Be Gay, because of course this was written much, much later, but it offers this idea of like homosexuality as a cultural identity rather than an intrinsic. And also they got together because they are both pink, and that's cute. That is the plan, and I hope you enjoyed this very chaotic random video that I filmed. I aim to have this up by the end of this week. So yeah, in the end I am doing some Pride Month content, even though it was not what I had in mind, but you know, it is what it is. That's it. Have you read any of these books? Do you want to read any of these books after hearing me talk about them? And let me know whether you're reading for Pride Month or in June more generally. That's it. See you next time.
Miss you.
They'll be back soon.
Anyway, bye. Take
care.